Hey guys, today's video is finally me doing a review of this palette from Too Faced. I know I've been saying I've been going to put up a video for a really long time, but here it is finally. So I'm going to be doing a swatches and review of the Too Faced Everything Nice palette. I know a bunch of people have already done videos on this, but I wanted to just tell you what I think of it. This is my first holiday palette. I didn't get the one last year, and when I went to the store, it was between this one and the one from Tarte. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's the one that came with the bag and like the couple little things. But there are a couple colors in here that made me really want this. Usually I kind of shy away from these because they do come with the blushes and the bronzer and stuff like that in it. But since I am trying to get into that sort of thing, I thought this would be perfect for me. Plus, like I said, the colors are gorgeous. I used them today, you can't really tell, but I did use the same colors I always do. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit first before I show you the swatches. I'm going to show you the inside. This is what the inside looks like. All the shadows are up here and all of the bronzers, and there's a couple brushes in here, but I haven't used them because they're just so pretty I don't want to ruin them. So there are 20 shadows up here and there's 6 mattes. I'll tell you which ones they are when I swatch them because you'll probably already be able to tell, but there's a couple over here and it's a pretty nice array of colors. Some of them are kind of crazy, but I guess it is a Christmas palette, so make it fun colors for Christmas. Like this bottom couple here are gorgeous colors, but they don't go with the rest of the palette, but I still enjoy them. When I go to swatches, I'll tell you which ones are my favorite, but I just want to tell you Girly right off is my favorite. It's what made me decide that I wanted this. And in this palette, the blushes aren't too crazy. Like this Papa Don't Peach is a blush, but I use it more as a bronzer since I only really do right here. And it comes off really nice because it's not too pink. It's like a brown pink. It goes perfectly. I have yet to use the Chocolate Soleil. It's a little dark for me. Maybe I'll venture into it sometime. But the best part about this is there's the word chocolate in the name. And we know Too Faced has the chocolate bar palette. And I swatched it the one day and I'm like, why do I keep smelling this smell? I don't know what this is. Well, I smelled the bronzer and it has a chocolate scent to it. So I'm thinking it has like the cocoa powder in it or something like that. But yes, it does have a chocolatey smell. So if you don't want to buy the chocolate bar palette, but you want a little bit of taste of the chocolate, this one's for you. Also, behind the brushes, there's this little pamphlet. It has 3 looks you can try. There's a Sugar for Day, Spice for Play, and Ready for a Soiree, which I think are cute. And it shows you which colors to use on where and like which bronzer to use. I think that's cute. Also, it came with this is, oh man. There was also a sample of the Better Than Sex mascara in here. And there was a pink glittery bag, but that is long since gone because I got this like a month ago and I've used it for so many things, so I have no idea where it is, so I apologize, but these 2 things did come with that, so it is a plus because I saw that glittery bag and I was like, oh my goodness. But anyways, back to the palette. Overall, I love this palette. I had a couple Too Faced eyeshadows and I wanted to buy a couple of the palettes before, like I wanted the chocolate bar palette, but I was kind of, I don't know, since I hadn't used a lot of it and I didn't know how their last was, but let me tell you, I put this on before I go to work. I don't use a primer or anything either underneath it. When I come home, I have like one little crease because I do have very like greasy, I don't know what you call it, above my eyes, but honestly it stayed on all day. And like if I go out and you know you're dancing and sweating and it stayed on. I've worn this every day since I've gotten it. It is amazing. Like I know I've used Tarte, I love Tarte to death, but honestly their shadows don't last too long on my eyes even if I do use a primer. I don't know if it's like what they make them out of or something like that, but I'm honestly telling you, if you want some eyeshadows that stay on, any of the Too Faced palettes I'm sure are made of the same as this one, so they will last all day. So before I get into anything else, I'm going to do the close-up and swatches of all of the shades in here and then I'll talk to you guys a little bit more. So these are all the eyeshadow colors. I'll get a close-up of each of them when I swatch them. And these are all of the blushes, the bronzer, and the highlighter. It comes with the 3 brushes like I said. I haven't taken them out of the packaging because they're just so pretty and sparkly. I don't want to ruin them, and they're white tipped, so I didn't want to ruin them or anything like that. So let's get a close-up of the eyeshadows. Turtle Dove, which is a white, Paper Roses, which is a light pink with a little shimmer, Heaven, which is a kind of like a cream, and Totally Fetch, which is a hot pink. And for the first row, this is Turtle Dove, which is just a plain matte white. This is Paper Roses, which is a really nice light shimmery pink. I don't know if it shows up on camera. This is the Heaven, which is a really light cream, kind of hardly doesn't even show up. And this is Totally Fetch, which is a beautiful pink color. It has a little bit of shimmer in it. And this next row is Dream On, Kindness is Free, Shiny Happy, and Live It Up, which is a nice purple color. This is the second row. This one, which you can hardly see, is Dream On. This nice, it's kind of like a metallic pink in real life, is Kindness is Free. This one is Shiny Happy, which is one of my favorites. It's so sparkly with a nice gold undertone. And this one is Live It Up, which is a nice purple. This next row is After Hours, Marvelous, Honey Pot, and Too Glam. So this is a swatch of After Hours. This is Marvelous, which is basically kind of like Shiny Happy, except for with a more silver purple undertone. This is Honey Pot, and this is Too Glam, which is probably one of my favorite colors in this palette. It's a super gorgeous green, turquoisey. It's kind of hard to explain, but it has a little bit of shimmer in it also. This next row is Fond of You, Be You, Don't Settle, and Head Over Heels. This is the next row with Fond of You, and this is Be You, and these are two more of the mattes here. This is Don't Settle, which is another one of my favorites because it's just like Marvelous and Shiny Happy. And this is Head Over Heels, which you can't really tell because it doesn't pay off really nicely. It's like a really nice metallic blue with some nice glitter in it. It's kind of holographic-y, but it doesn't come off that way. This is a couple goes of swatching. I wish it was more pigmented than it is. And the last row is Knockout, Secret Lovers, Girly, and Chocolate Moon. Alright, and this is the last row. This is Knockout, which is one of the last mattes in the package. This is Secret Lovers, which is pretty gorgeous for a dark brown. This is Girly, which is ultimately my favorite color in this whole palette. When I first saw this palette, this is what made me decide between this one and the Tarte palette. This one is gorgeous. It's brown, coppery, but it has that shimmer to it, if you can see it. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. If you go to the store, make sure you swatch this one, Girly. And this last one is Chocolate Moon, which is a black, which for a black it's pretty decent. It has a couple sparkles in it that actually do come off because sometimes when you have a black, they do kind of, you know, go away. I don't know if you can see them, but it does have the black sparkles in it. And for the blushes, we have Sweet Pink and Papa Don't Peach. The illuminator is Inner Light, and the bronzer is Chocolate Soleil. Okay, and for swatches of the blushes, this is the Sweet Pink. This is the Papa Don't Peach. This is Chocolate Soleil, obviously, because it's the darkest one. And you can kind of see it, but here's the illuminator. It's really light. It's not too crazy, but there's the swatches of those. So I'm sorry if the swatches weren't that great. It's my first time actually doing a whole like close-up swatch thing, so hopefully you got to see the colors. I know that my lighting's not the best and some of the colors aren't coming up true to what they actually are, but most of them are pretty much close enough to what they actually are in the palette. They're all gorgeous. Even the mattes, like I don't usually use mattes, but I have used a couple of them and I'm pretty impressed with them. Most of them are the browns, so I usually just put them in the center of my eye or do something a little bit subtle with them, but they are nice mattes, the ones that they are, and the one is a nice highlighter color. The Turtle Dove is pretty nice for that. And like I said, the illuminator is nice and light, so if you just want to shimmer, like a light shimmer, it works out pretty good. Overall, I love this palette. I feel like even if it was just a regular palette and it wasn't from a collection for winter or Christmas, I still would have got it even if it was different packaging, because the colors in here are gorgeous and the pink bag was just a little plus. So I don't know if they'll keep any of the colors for anything else, but if they do, I'm definitely getting it because girly is my favorite. If you guys have any more questions about this palette, feel free to ask them down below. I will answer them. I'm pretty sure I didn't say a lot. I just ramble on how much I love the colors, which is not really a review, but you guys know how I get. So if you have any questions or you want to see more close-ups of the colors or a look using this palette, let me know and I will do that for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out if you were considering on getting this palette. And I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.